lemonade, iced tea, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Lemonade, iced tea, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Turn around, touch the ground, kick your boyfriend out of town. Little fishy in the water, bet you don't know Harry Potter. Freeze, American cheese, it makes me sneeze. Achoo, 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 bless you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And this is Gaytriarchs.
David, I know the World Cup is over. I know it's all over. Dude,
congratulations, Spain.
And you paid no attention to it, or did you pay any attention to it?
I mean, it was literally, the final was played 20 minutes from my house. So I paid attention in that, how it affected traffic. But no, I mean, I knew who was playing, and it was fun to get caught up in like the positivity and all. But no, I did not watch a single frame. No, not a single frame did I watch. Oh, well, yeah, of course. Of course.
And the hairstyles and the shorts. And the legs. Okay, before too much time goes by, I do want to make, this is a PSA, an important PSA that we should have gotten out a few weeks ago, but we're so incredibly organized and ahead of the game right here at Gaytriarchs, America's finest news source. I do want to make sure that everybody knows, and I will put this on our socials for listener to see, but that the New York Times did an entire, they spent good real estate at that gray old lady to talk about why World Cup players hike up their shorts even higher than they already are, than their shorts are. And it's spoiler alert, is for a bunch of different reasons, and frankly, nobody knows why they do it, but it's almost like a weird behavioral tick and trend that they would do. And I just thought that was absolutely hysterical. The New York Times wrote an article entitled "Why World Cup Players Are Hiking Up Their Shorts."
But see, this is just proves my point that like men are in 2026. Like everybody wants men. Everybody wants to see men. Semen. Everybody wants to see their legs. They want to see them kissing each other while they play hockey. Men are all. 2026 is all about
it's
men.
The year of the man. Yes, bringing
and
it
the
back.
legs. And honestly, that's the best part about a soccer player is their legs and ass. So
it's true.
Why not just hike up those shorts? Yeah. Boys, you don't even need to wear your shorts. Just wear underwear.
It is hilarious, though, that, I mean, in the article, it kind of talks about how in prep for a corner kick or a goal kick, or I don't know, just like a stopped moment in time for a very intentional kick, somehow it's just almost, psychological for them to be like, I need to show off more thigh to the Fox sports watching audience and the people in the stadium, and David only 20 minutes away from the final, to show some more hamstring and quad,
and to show that like leg hair that you're like, is it pubes or is it the upper leg hair? Do you know what I mean? That like danger zone where you're just not quite, especially these like hairy players.
I watched
the
Egyptian team. I watched a lot of games and I did not notice that it was ever getting into the danger zone. I saw lots of hiking and thinking, why are they doing that even more? But anyway, I don't know. I think, are we done with this recording for the day? Just talking about soccer legs?
I've been rock hard for the past 5 minutes. So yeah. Yes. Terrible transition into my next topic, which is...
looking at the outline, yes, I agree. Sorry, I didn't set that up for you.
So along with our cold open for this episode, I sometimes get the best quotes from my son just laying in bed. We're just laying in bed and we're just chatting about shit. But the other day, he's asking a lot of questions. He's asked questions about, how are babies made and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I'm pretty good with explaining things so a 6-year-old understands it.
Right.
Well, the other day we're just laying in bed and he just goes, "Dad, what's trans?" And I was like, what do you mean? Well, if somebody is trans, what does that mean? And it's so funny because we have trans friends that he knows, and we're not hiding any of this stuff. But like every fucking parent on the planet, I always feel like it's too soon to learn. It's too soon. It's too soon when it's actually exactly the right time, right?
Right.
So I bumbled my way through an explanation, and luckily we do have a trans friend that is very much in his life. So we're like, oh, and I think we use the language of, it's when somebody was born and they thought they were a girl, but actually they realized when they're older that they're a boy. And so they're a boy now. And so that seemed to satisfy him. But it was so funny because I don't rehearse these things. In my mind, I'm like, well, of course I know what trans is. And of course I can explain it to a 6-year-old.
I can dumb it down for a 6-year-old.
Sure. And it's not even dumbing it down. It's just like, is said in a way that they can repeat it in a way that's not wrong. Because sometimes I've explained things. Correct. They're like, well, Dad said. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if you've ever had to explain things like this where you're just like put on the spot, but I feel like I did a pretty good job. But it is interesting that at 6, he's already hearing this word at school and at camp.
Oh, really? From peers?
Yeah.
I mean, not just like, I don't know, his TikTok feed. Just kidding. Wait. I feel like you danced around. What was your explanation? Or was it simply when somebody is born, they're told they're a girl and later they realize they're a boy? And that resonated with him? He got it?
Yeah, he got it. I mean, he stopped asking follow-up questions, which I feel like is 6-year-old for I got it. But yeah, that's all I said. I said, our friend, I'll just say John is his name. We'll say, our friend John, right? And they're like, oh yeah. Well, John is trans because when John was born, they thought he was a girl. And then when he was older, he realized he was a boy. And that's how we know John. And he was like, oh, okay. And that was it. Like he had no other follow-up questions. But weirdly, again, I'm like, oh, I'm so woke, I'm so crunchy, I'm so everything. But then I'm put on the spot. I'm fucking terrified that I'm gonna say the wrong thing.
Totally. Yeah. And you suddenly start stumbling over your words and you think, I don't know. I mean, the kids get it. They really do. I think that we need to keep things age appropriate, but I don't know, gender and even sexuality, who you love. I mean, I think we all know. You and I know, and the listener knows that they get it actually quite well.
But I think it's helpful to know, for being gay, right? For like sexual orientation, we use, for I feel like his age, when a boy wants to marry a boy or a boy loves a boy, right? Like you don't say like when a boy imagines the other boy in a leather harness. Like that's not, you can't say that to a 6-year-old, but you can say wants to marry each other.
There's a really excellent book out there that I remember our preschool reading called I Am Jazz. And Jazz I think that there was a reality series about her briefly, about her transition. And she was like a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, something like that.
Yeah, it was on TLC.
She came, my last Broadway show, she came to see the show because it was super queer friendly and whatnot. And I talked to Jazz, and Jazz is, and at the time she was maybe 18, 19 or so, and was, I mean, I shouldn't just say beautiful, but she was absolutely stunningly beautiful and very friendly, and passed out her book to everybody. And she was just truly lovely. And in her book, she actually uses the term, I have a boy body and a girl brain. And that was the simple way that she explains it. And I've used that many times to talk about trans issues with folks. And it's a simple enough term that, or phrase that sometimes people just go, okay, well, that was easy. And you just kind of, quell any discussion. It's simple and direct.
Well, also your or the one that Jazz said is kind of great for any age, right? Like I can imagine a 6-year-old hearing that and going, oh, I get it. And like some like MAGA piece of shit at 50 going, oh, I guess I get it now. I'm a Democrat now.
That's frankly my point. I've used it with MAGA people. I don't think they exactly came up as Democrat afterwards, but funny enough, I mean, we don't need to riff on this too much, but like, weirdly, I think there's an awful lot of MAGA people who actually truly don't care about sexuality or gender. They're just kind of like, whatever, just stop taxing me. And then they realize they don't realize that they're voting in the wrong way that doesn't help anybody, but whatever. Anyway.
Wait, I have a question, Gavin.
Please.
Why do you say MAGA? Is it like saying Target? Are you trying to elevate your status?
Did I just now say MAGA?
You said MAGA? Yeah, with like a hard H.
Didn't it all
like
start?
MAGA.
Didn't it start out saying MAGA rather than MAGA?
I don't know, but I've noticed you say it quite a few times, and I feel like you're trying to like.
It is not.
It's
pretension.
basically you saying I was just in Spain. It's like It's like Madonna coming home from England with a UK accent.
I was just
thinking get it, bitch.
I was just thinking about my last Broadway show while I was in Spain recently.
And we're 5 minutes into this episode. You've already mentioned 10 things. All right. Well, speaking of speaking up, we had an incident at my daughter's daycare, and it just reminded me of something that I want to say to our listener, in case our listener is like me, who doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, doesn't want to be the complainy parent, doesn't want to do that.
You want to be that. You don't want to be that guy.
I say I don't. Like my personality is I want to be the guy that everyone's just so desperate to have around them at all times. So I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But when I was thinking about something that happened at my daughter's daycare, I realized that like the the two things that I sincerely regret at all as a parent are just 2 times I didn't speak up fast enough. And it's in an effort to have this perfect record of never saying something when I thought the wrong thing or when I was overblowing something. Because the only things I've ever regretted is not speaking up. The times I've spoken up and it was wrong, I'm like, whatever, I was wrong.
Yeah,
right?
you get past it easily. But it's the stuff that what keeps you up at night is when you kept your mouth shut. I hear you.
Yes. And so I just want to make a pledge to everyone out there that I want to run my mouth way more. The incident, I won't go into the details of the incident. But
we want the details though.
Yeah, it was a teacher did something that was nothing like, nobody hit anybody. There was nothing like that, but a teacher did something that was very wrong in the way they ran their classroom. And I found out about it and I kind of discussed it with my husband and I was like, should we say something? And I don't know, is it that big of a deal? And I kind of hemmed and hawed for a week. And then today I was just like, thinking about it as I drove, I was like, this has been eating away at me.
Yeah.
I've got to call the director of the school, who's lovely, by the way. I called her. We had like a 30-minute conversation and everything she said was right. She was like, oh my God, I want to make this right away. Thank you for telling me. Please don't speak up. Even if you think you're just complaining, even if it's just the vibes are off today, something's not right, please tell me. She's like, I want to know everything. I will never think. And I was like, okay, you're right. So it was just like this moment of fucking speak up. The other time I'll just tell you quickly was my son, when he was like, I don't know, a year, maybe a year and a half, had to have a blood test for something. And we went to this like Quest Diagnostics and they were trying to, you're having to pin him down because babies don't like getting needles in their arms.
No.
And
nor does this baby like to have needles poking and prodding, frankly.
This woman clearly was not finding the vein and she was not great at it. And so she was like poking around. She was like looking for it as she's poking around. My son is screaming, right? And I'm holding him down. And so as most parents do, I'm like, okay, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna cry. So this is normal. And so we just have to get through this. But then like, I noticed after a while that like, there was something not right. She wasn't doing this right. She didn't push the needle in and then it was over. This was 10 seconds of this. And I should have said something, but I kept going back to like, this is a professional. She knows what she's doing. And I think about that once a week. And so I regret not fucking saying something.
So are
being
you
like, hey.
Are you going to go back to this Quest person and actually bring this up?
No, but I mean, I never went back and I brought it up to our doctor and all these kind of things later. But at the time I was like, this is a professional. So that being said, I'm going to start another podcast called Saying Shit Too Early. And I'm going to be the host of it. So if you'd like to join me there.
I know exactly what you mean, though. It is. I have found that our teachers in middle school now, especially because you don't see the teachers much anymore, are absolutely open to communication, which is crazy to me because I'm like, hey, teachers, you are gifts. You are all doing an amazing job. You don't need to listen to stupid little complaints by parents. But I have found that when I reach out, everybody gets back to me really quickly.
Yeah,
and it's been And so it does seem like they would rather hear about the little details early rather than having some flare up 4 months down the line.
And liability, I'm sure. They're like, oh my God, I didn't know that was happening. That's illegal or that's against our policies or whatever. Yeah.
Well, speaking of actually keeping kids in line and complaining, I just want to let you know that something that I addressed a long time ago that you rolled your eyes so severely at that I've been scared to bring it up. So now I'm going to lean in and actually bring things up again, okay? Because I'm going to speak up.
Good.
I'm still reading the Bible. Remember months ago, as a reminder for listener, because it has been a while, I didn't know if I would make this into a weekly segment, but of course I am way too lazy to do shit like that. But I am still in a little reading club, believe it or not. And by club, I never meet with anybody, but I am trying to keep on track to read the Bible just once in a year this year so that I can be that guy who says, yes, I actually have read the Bible. The problem is,
at what point
I will remember
the
nothing.
Atheist going to church and reading the Bible weekly a Christian? Like, do you know what I mean? At what point are we just
totally?
Yeah.
Oh, it's listen. I don't have to judge. It is the most referenced book in all human history. So it's been mildly interesting. Man, reading those Psalms was a slog. But I did find there's the Proverbs. You've heard of Proverbs, Proverbs, I'm sure, which basically felt like I was reading 100 pages of Ben Franklin wisdom, which was hilarious because it is Proverbs of like, here's the wisdom of how you should live a life, basically. The repetition throughout the Bible. I'm still, obviously, it is July 28th as we're recording this. I'm still only in the Old Testament. Did you know the Old Testament is so much longer than the New Testament? Anyway, I see your eyes.
I'm just waiting for you to get to the point so I could smack it down.
There are so many references in Proverbs to disciplining children. And it's not just the famous spare the rod, spoil the child, which is Proverbs 13:24, the famous one. You've heard that. But an awful lot of them are kind of like, you need to beat your children. Beat your children, beat your children. I'm not kidding. I mean, so now the Bible is about murder, circumcision, prostitution, and beating children. Yeah. For instance,
it's fantastic.
As a quick reminder, Proverbs 22:15. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline drives it away. Proverbs 23:13-14. Do not withhold discipline from a child. If you strike him with a rod, he will not die.
So I can beat my child with a tire iron, and I can claim that the Bible said so. I mean, that's my religious freedom, officer.
I have a feeling that justification has been used for centuries, if not a millennia. Two more for you. Proverbs 29:15. The rod and reproof give wisdom. A child left to himself brings shame. And finally, Proverbs 29:17. Discipline your son, and he will give you rest.
First of all, the amount of times they say rod has me questioning a lot of things. Second of all, I love that you're like, to make your child quiet, beat him senselessly.
Yeah. It is an ongoing thing. I will tell you. It is I don't know, the Bible. I do shake my head and go, wow. There's this is what has guided most of Western humanity for a very long time.
And that's how we got Trump, honestly. So let's talk about something nice, because
let's do that.
That did not make me happy. Although I do like having justification for hitting my children.
Yeah.
We here at Gaytriarchs, as you know, very on top of things. We plan things in advance. We respond to messages right away. We're really, really good at that.
Good.
The other day, I got a message and it was like, hey, are you going to finish setting up your buy me a coffee thing? And I was like, what is this? And I texted Gavin and he's like, oh, aren't you going to do that? And so I go on and I was like, oh, the thing that we promoted a couple months ago.
And forgot about.
We never fully connected to however it works. And so anyway, the long story short is we did this, and listener, you bought us a coffee.
Listener,
a few of you, listener, bought us a coffee. And that is the sweetest thing in the world, because not only do we love you, and you know who we're talking about, but the fact that you guys actually did that is amazing and wonderful, and will buy us 3 hours of hiring an intern to do our social media.
Sorry to the intern who will only be here for 3 hours, but thank you very much.
But truly, like, it was very sweet, because when Gavin kind of floated this idea, I was like, I don't know, like, I don't want to ask for money from our listener, but like,
it does suck.
It is expensive. It is to make this podcast. It is time consuming. And you're like, let's just do it. And God damn it, you guys really fucking came through. So
thank you, listener.
Yeah.
From the bottom of my heart and David's lump of coal in his chest. We also did have a really great, hold on, sorry, for editing purposes. I want to read the message from what's his name. Okay.
No, I'm just going to keep talking so I don't have to edit this part. This way, I'll skip right over this.
Oh, shoot. Oh, here it is. Furthermore, listener who bought us a coffee, thank you so very much. We had such a hilarious message from him when he sent to us just the other day. Well, actually, about a month ago. So my mother-in-law is visiting because new baby. Hey, congrats, listener.
Congrats, listener.
desperately needed to get out of the house. So I went for a run. David, relatable. When you need to get out of the house, do you go for a run?
Mm-hmm.
When you had a newborn, I mean, is that what you were doing with
Can
your time?
you imagine run? I mean, I would imagine like running to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee and a Slim Jim, but like,
but that was the only time. Yeah. Anyway, he had played the latest Gaytriarchs episode per usual, and that was the one with sex therapist Zoe. Mm-hmm. And he came back home all sweaty. Open the door. There's my mother-in-law holding our baby as I take my AirPods off, and my phone connects to the Alexa in the house and keeps playing the episode as the therapist says, sometimes sex is just masturbating one another. Thank you.
Listener, that is worth the coffee that you bought us. Thank you so much. But I also really love that. I love that somehow Gaytriarchs got into your family and embarrassed you even just a little bit. That has happened to me listening to the Savage Love podcast, which is filthy. And every once in a while I'll be at like a stoplight with the windows down and I realize other people can hear the horrific things that are being said. But that is a really funny story. Thank you.
But educational and uplifting. So, yes. I have a dad hack of the week for us.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. This was just some wisdom that came through Instagram. And because I am at the peak of summer right now with 2 teenagers who are currently home with nothing to do. And listen, nothing to do is good. Boredom is good. But this is not good for Gavin's mental health because, oh my God, get off your phone. How many times do I have to say that, right? And it's the right amount of arguing. It's all age appropriate. But this wisdom came through that said basically when arguing, I mean, of course, don't forget you're the adult in the room. Okay, thank you, Donna Tatro. We see you. But anyway, it said rather than arguing, how about having 5 responses when the teenager or just child is flaring up at you, right? And here's 5 quotes to try.
Okay.
You don't have to agree with me. You do have to follow the boundary. Okay. I get you are upset. My answer isn't going to change.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I use that a lot with my 6-year-old.
The tone of that, it doesn't ever have to be a flare up whatsoever, you know? When you're ready to speak respectfully, I'll listen. That's just a little bit of catty. I like that one. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm not going to argue about it. I don't know that I can say something like that without sounding like a condescending piece of shit. I'm not going to lie.
When you're going to be less fat, we'll talk. And you're like, oh, shit. Okay. Yeah.
I know you don't like my answer. You still need to respect it. Now, that last one made me laugh because I don't think my kids understand respecting me or my words. And they would just laugh at me, which might be a good icebreaker to break the tension in the room.
I mean, all of these are saying the same thing, which I aim for, which is you're trying to be very strong in your point of view and say that I'm not going to flinch while also trying to give them a little space to be fucking pissed and to go off the handle. Because I remember as a kid, my parents very much shutting down any sort of like big emotions I had and feeling very feeling like it was very unfair. But also as a parent, I'm not giving you candy in bed. So I want to walk that line of I respect you and you're allowed to be upset, but you're not getting a gummy nerds in your water bottle.
Which devolves into an argument, apparently, huh?
It always does. Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of the news, it's news to me that did you have flare-ups at home? Were you an arguing, yelling household?
No, it was the opposite. I mean, my parents argued a lot because they fucking hated each other. But no, because whenever I would get upset or everything, it was always like, calm your voice, be calm, be quiet, you know what I mean? It was always
that was imposed upon you. Like Correct. Mom would say to you, you have to lower your voice. Okay.
Correct. So it was really difficult. Like, I have friends who came from screamy, arguey families.
That's me.
And their love language is like arguing and screaming. But it's like, to me, if you screamed at me, that means we have to get divorced.
Yeah, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I think flare up. I was used to a household where you kind of yelled and then you got over it 2 seconds later. Which isn't...
And look what happened. Look what you turned into.
Which isn't the most helpful or loving way.
But neither is quieting yourself.
Yeah, but my partner is not a yeller. And so then it can get like, you really hurt my feelings. And I'm like, really? I was just raising my voice. It's not that big a deal. Yeah. But consequently, anyway, we can dive into that another time. Yeah. Is any yelling specialists out there? Would you like to be a guest on Gaytriarchs?
Yeah.
Speaking of not at all, news of the week. Did you know that it is a dark, cold planet of people ignoring the Bible and being terrible to each other? Therefore, there's no good news of the week. Okay.
I do know that. Yeah.
I dug deep, found some things to celebrate, all right? In Iowa, 2 teachers were taken into court because they supported a gay-straight alliance drag show that was an after-school event sponsored entirely and organized entirely by students, and the teachers were merely invited. They weren't even participating in it, and the school district sued them. Well, bitch, they clapped back, and they won the lawsuit, and they got their money back. Yes. And they got like $27,000, but hey, give me $27,000. That would be fantastic. So I thought that was great. In the middle of Iowa, where you don't necessarily think about student drag shows being, celebrated. But come on, the gays are everywhere.
Especially if our theme of this episode is using your voice and speaking the fuck up. Those motherfuckers spoke up and they won.
Well, then there's another person who loves to speak up, right? Lauren Boebert. What is that?
Jesus.
How do you feel in your spine when you hear that name?
Whenever I hear her name, my only thought is that like security cam footage of her watching Beetlejuice and jerking off her husband or whatever.
Yes. No, boyfriend. Like, it wasn't even a husband, wasn't it? And she was vaping and she was wearing a dress
trash.
She's trash.
Well, I'm trash, by the way. Anyone who's ever met me, I am trash. But so I'm allowed to say it. You're not allowed to say it. I'm allowed to say it.
Because I say things like MAGA, Broadway, and Spain. But anyway, Lauren Boebert got smacked down in Congress. Republicans voted against her when she tried to codify Trump's executive order keeping trans people out of the military. Now, as we remember, he wrote an executive order that kicked people out, but it hadn't been actually written into law. And with the latest military industrial complex funding bill, she tried to codify it. And even some Republicans were like, you know what, listen, let's not do this right now. So, anytime that Lauren Boebert gets smacked down, ain't that a great day?
That is a great day. I'm nervous about moving into our next topic, but I'm going to do it. I have what would you do?
What would you do?
That's why. It's not the topic. It's just that you would sing. So I had this moment where, oh my God, I'm hoping this is a universal experience, but so my son is 6 and he's at a camp right now. And if you have a kid around the same age, you realize that there is a trend going on with dumplings.
Yes.
These little all they are just squishy toys with gel on the inside and maybe like some sparkles. Now, but they're in the shape of like a dumpling.
Yeah, and they come in a little plastic container, like it's a bamboo holder.
Exactly.
Wait, but hold on, David. I realize I'm already hijacking your what would you do. But is this your first foray into squishies?
No, we've had, but that's what's so ununique about it. It's like we have squishies in the house, but something about these dumplings has just fucking caught these kids up or whatever. Anyway, my son has been like, I want one. And I'm like, no, but if you want to use your own money, you can use one. So he saw them in our grocery store and he was like, I want one so bad. And I'm going to use my own money. And they were $7. And so he saved his money. He had his cash. We woke up early from a nap and he was like he was beaming with pride. He takes his $7. We go there. We grab one. He's like, walks up to the woman. He hands it to her. Oh, wow. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. It is raining like crazy here. So he walks up to the cashier. He's like, here's my cash. He hands her the cash. He's just like, I've never seen a kid so excited. And I make him use his own money because I think it's kind of cute, right? We get in the car. He opens up the dumpling and it is a cheap knockoff that is not the dumplings. It is like a foam, like handball squeeze kind of material. It's like foam. It's not the gel kind. He bursts into tears because he's like, this is not the one I wanted. I thought this was a real thing. So, Gavin, I could either say, yeah, that's what happens. Like sometimes we don't get the thing we want. Or do I buy him a new dumpling and let him keep his $7? Gavin, what would you do?
What would you do?
Depending on what I have had for breakfast and the mood that I'm in and how asshole-ish the children might be being that day, hurry it up before you lose electricity. I would say yes and yes. I mean, first of all, is he experienced enough in purchasing squishies to know what is the foam ones and what are the gel ones? Because
they're wrapped up. You can't touch them before.
But we have one or two of those stupid dumplings, and they, as I recall now, because I have been like, okay, what's the big deal? Okay, it's the shape is kind of cute. It's clever that they have it in a little bamboo plasticky deal. But I remember them being foam, I think, now that I think about it, not gel.
Well, the ones that he likes for whatever reason are the gel ones. Like they're like kind of they're like like a plastic on the outside. This one was like a foam, like a waving a foam finger kind of foam.
Yeah.
And so he was just heartbroken. And so I didn't know what to do.
Burst into tears.
And so what would you do, Gavin?
Well, what would you
just
do?
say it.
I think that this is a chance for you saying, yeah, sometimes we don't get exactly what we want. Need to read the instructions on the outside as you're so excited, but we missed what the explanation was. And when he shows that he has really come to intellectual grips with the fact that life is one huge disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, then maybe you swoop in as super dad and just say, but here, I got you another one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's incorrect. What I did was I just sat on the couch and we ordered an extra one on Temu together. Right. That's all I did. But
that was not $7 probably. Except
but like I want to build the like resilience of sometimes you spend your money and it doesn't go the way you want.
Yeah.
But a little boy's heart was broken. It was just, I think it might have been his first purchase ever.
Yeah.
Like I think it might have been the first time he ever used his money that he's gotten to purchase something. So I totally chickened out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you can still use it as a learning opportunity, which is why my children hate me. Speaking of learning opportunities, we have a DILF of the week.
All right.
Who has a lot to teach us. And he is a lot that he is teaching other people. So New York State Senator Jabari Brisport, I came across my feed recently when it was just this guy. I didn't know who he was. But I saw immediately his words as he was addressing the New York State Assembly saying, hey, people trying to fight against the gay agenda, people trying to fight against gay rights, people trying to fight against the gays, just quit. And I was like, wait, what? And he gave this fantastic speech about just saying like, stop the nonsense and stop the insanity, you assholes. Let's just work with love. You've lost. So move on. And he's running for a re-election right now. He is the first out gay person of color representing a Senate district in New York State. And he's, of course, for universal child care, which I wonder, Senator Brisport, can't wait for you to come on Gaytriarchs, and with or without a child of your own, and tell us about universal child care, rent control, etc. Anyway, he's a pinnacle of people who are advocating for the rights that we deserve to have. But why is he actually our DILF of the week, David? Because he's hot. Because he's hot.
But also, I just Googled him, and there is looks identical Jabari Brisport, who was a former actor who was in a show somewhere. And I'm looking at his headshot. I'm like, this is him. So maybe also, is he a recent graduate of the Yale School of Drama?
I don't think so. I think he's a lifelong Brooklynite. I don't know. Dig deeper. He has a Wikipedia page. I was looking at the politician's Wikipedia page. Yeah, Jabari Brisport.
Right? You see the picture I'm talking about?
Well, I don't know. Is it a headshot of him wearing a white shirt and smiling at the camera?
This may be David. We should have a new topic called David being racist, because I think he looks like another Jabari Brisport. No, it's the exact same guy. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
An actor also.
Yeah.
Him. So that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, hey, being a good communicator and all the things. So anyway, Jabari Brisport, hey, you're hot, dude. DILF of the week.
You know what I don't universal child care about? Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God.
All right, this is your week.
Yeah, this is my week. I just want to know what your top 3 colors are. Okay. So for me, I know that this was both like super constricting and way too wide open. So hopefully we went in lots of different directions. For me, number 3, Colorado. Because it's just a great state. Number 2, purple.
Oh my God.
It's royal. It's strong. It's both feminine and masculine, I think.
Yeah.
It's a little bit gay, but only an eye in the beholder. And it clashes with orange, which we all know is the ugliest color.
Love
that. Number 2 is purple for me. Number 1, cerulean, because of Meryl Streep and Devil Wears Prada,
course.
obviously.
She made that color famous. I will argue that color had no visibility prior to her.
And in that regard, it is my number 1 color. What about you?
Okay. By the way, teal. I was looking up colors and I was like teal versus turquoise versus cerulean versus cyan. Oh my God, it gets really. All right. So mine are a little more like in a situation.
Okay.
So for me, number 3, the white of a white cherry blossom in DC against a clear blue sky. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Those
do not
white
disagree.
flowers. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay. Number 2, the orange of a sunset reflecting off of a building after a day at the beach.
Excellent.
Right?
Yes, I cannot disagree with that.
And number 1, my favorite color, gasoline in water.
Oh, rainbowy and kind of purple.
It's rainbowy, but it's magical, but it's also the abyss, but it's also not. It's all things. I love it.
Love that. You win that round for sure. Okay, what am I going to lose at next week?
I'm taking your place, Gavin.
Really?
I did not prepare a top 3 list.
Oh my God, I'm ready. Top 3 daddies, top 3 tops, top 3 queens, top 3 closets, top 3 families, top 3 icons. How about top 3 icons?
3 tops. What
top
about
3 icons?
Top 3 drag race?
No, I would be completely ignorant.
Top 3 icons? Okay.
Top 3 icons.
Top 3 icons. Okay, next week, top 3 icons.
Thank you for making this episode for me, David. So for my something great, David, I am closing the chapters of when I was in Spain.
Oh, Jesus.
And we were at a beach with really, really big waves on the Atlantic coast. And I was having a gay old time with the kids. I love a big wave beach. And we were all just on cloud 9. It was so fun. Almost too aggressive waves because, I'm old, but it was really awesome. My daughter looks at me. Her face is beaming. And she goes, "Oh, Dad, you make me so happy." My reaction was, what? I had a look of not disgust, but such shock that she actually pulled it together, laughed. And she's like, once in a while. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it. So closing out my Spanish pretension is just my daughter actually acknowledging that I'm not the bane of her existence for one brief moment.
That's a win in my book. So every night, my husband and I will switch bedtimes. So like I'll do my son, he'll do my daughter, and then we'll flop the next night. And my son has fallen into this pattern of where he demands that we give him 2 dreams. So we give him 2 dreams that he's going to have, hey, you're going to fly to Egypt on a unicorn and whatever. Cool. And listen, creatively, I'm fucking running out of ideas. Yeah, but the other day I was laying there and I was like, you know what? The dream I'm going to give you, Emmett, is a dream that I used to have on repeat as a kid. And I just remember having it for years and it's nothing special, but I don't know, it's something great. And so I told him the dream and his eyes just wide open. He was so excited. He goes, "You're going to give that to me? I get to have it?" And I said, "Yes, honey, you get to have it." And he goes, "And then maybe I can give it to my kids someday." And I was like, "You gorgeous little piece of shit. Why are you being so sweet?" It was just like the most magical. Like he was earnestly so excited that I would give him something that I had as a kid and that he's going to give, and so, yeah, it was, me banging Ty Pennington from Extreme Makeover Home Edition. But listen, you pass on what you have.
And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com. And we encourage you to speak up.
And you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David Vaughn. Nope. David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere. And Gavin is at Gavin Lodge. I'm stopped talking about Spain.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll cerulean you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.